of December 18th, 2017, Board of Park Commissioners of the Lake Bluff Park District, Lake County, Illinois. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart. Here. Commissioner Gordon.
Here.
Commissioner McKendry.
Absent on prior notice.
Commissioner Mossberger.
Absent on prior notice.
Commissioner Patera.
Absent on prior notice.
Commissioner Wallace.
Here. Yay.
President Douglas.
Here. Okay, so we have a quorum.
We do.
Okay. Have a motion to approve the agenda, please.
So second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart. Yes. Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Now is an opportunity for statement of visitors. I see one, kind of, sort of, but
I'm not really.
but we'll accommodate any visitors with questions if they happen to show up later. So we'll move on to minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of November 13th regular board meeting? And, well, I'm sorry, and can I put them both together or not? Or do I keep it
I
separate?
think you
Can we
can.
do them all?
Yeah, if you want to put them all together.
Let's start over again. Let me approve the minutes of, or have a motion to approve the minutes of November 13th regular board meeting and approval of the minutes of the November 13th, 2017 special board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart. Abstain. Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Okay, may I have a motion to approve minutes of the December 11th, 2017 public hearing and approval of the minutes of the December 11th, 2017 special board meeting?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart. Yes. Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. May I have a motion to accept the November 14th, December 4th, December 18th, 2017 payables?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart.
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Now, may I have a motion to approve the November 14th, December 4th, and December 18th, 2017 payables?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart.
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Okay, moving on to finance. The 2017 November year-end date financials. Ron?
Yeah, really quickly, on page 57, for the month, we're right on target. Even though it shows $91,000 below budget, that's not where we're going to be at, so Rich says that should catch up. So we don't have any numbers yet, but it's definitely not going to be the 91. So we have some more revenue that's coming in, and so I'm not even going to give it a number, but maybe half potentially, but I'm not too sure. But other than that, golf, remember we're 1 month behind. We did pick up some revenue in December, so that's why, unfortunately, we want to wait until the end of the year. I think it was right around, I thought Dominic told me it was between $5,000 and $8,000 first couple days in December.
That's right.
So, which we didn't have any revenue budgeted, so.
I'm sorry, Ron, the 91 figure?
On page 57,
Right.
so it shows on the right-hand column, budget was
Right.
291 and we're at 200,000.
Of course. I just want to see if you were. Oh, wait. Thank you.
That's my report.
Okay.
Any comments at all from anyone on the finance report? May I have then a motion to accept the financial report as presented by Executive Salsky, please?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart.
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace.
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes.
Yeah, just in that last one, Superintendent Foster did have in there just some of his breakdown of expenses, so it's easier for you to take a look at. And also, just a reminder that we do have funds in our Bluff fund, which is roughly maybe 600,000, just, it's the end of the year. So that right now is, hopefully we don't have to carry that over at all, or move some over because the cash flow is low first quarter. But that's really kind of set aside for our reserves and things like that. But I will let anybody know if for some reason we have to move over any of the funds. But hopefully we don't. We do, also we do have some wire transfers we're going to need. So I'll ask the finance committee individuals. I have pins for you, so I'll probably just text them to you. So they'll just call you and you just have to get the pin and that's it.
I
don't think we've had a situation yet where you
Okay.
do
But-
that. Yeah, you sign at the bank, but I don't think I haven't issued
Okay.
those because I didn't think you wanted to
Oh.
hold on to those, so I'll just send it to
Okay,
you each.
okay.
So those are a couple of payments coming up. Other than that, that's it.
That was probably on the last contract, right? During the last contract, not the new one? Maybe those pins that we did.
Yeah, it kind of,
Whatever.
yeah. It was a wire transfer agreement, so I was trying to make it easier on all of you, so you don't have to run into the bank.
Yeah.
Okay. Move on to purchase cards ratification.
Yeah, we just had smaller payments, just really due to capital projects that were just a lot less, so I don't think it's savings, I wouldn't treat it as that, but using it less. Okay.
Any questions, anyone, on this?
No.
May I have a motion to ratify the purchase card agreement, or purchase card payment of $24,642.31.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
President Douglas?
Yes. Okay, moving on to page 80 in our packets.
So you have the tax levy here, and so the board has discussed it, so we need a motion to approve, and once it's approved, I will go in tomorrow and submit.
Can you remind me, Bob, why I wanted this again? Because you had a great, can you remind me why you wanted to say yes?
Why we wanted to say yes? Well, first of all, even including this, we're at basically a break-even budget. Just now that the fitness has been changed, we're up a little bit. I think it's about a plus 20 for the year. And this is about 50-some thousand.
Correct.
So without this, we would have been negative, and we would have had to make some staffing adjustments that we decided were not really warranted at this point. So that is the reason.
It is in the budget, which I think we were saying, so in anticipation from our initial discussion.
I just wanted him
Yeah.
to remind us all
Yep.
the importance of having this.
And we've passed a few full in the past, and so we kind of, the finance committee made a recommendation that we take the full allowed with the CPI this year, so that's what we recommend.
Any other questions or discussion points? May I have a motion to approve ordinance 2017J, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the 2017 tax levy of the Lake Bluff Park District of Lake County, Illinois, in the amount of $3,081,238, which includes the CPI of 2.1%.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
President Douglas?
Yes.
So Brock and Bob, that needs to move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to put it in.
Brock and
So moved, yes, and, yep.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Page 94 in our packets on excuse me here, the 2018 budget approval.
We made the adjustments discussed at the last board meeting, and so at the end of the year, we're able to make the adjustment to the system, computer system, as well as for the community, and this is what we'll present to the community, or publish to the community.
Any questions, discussion? Anything to add?
Well, we can amend it accordingly, right? If we need to. I mean, I understand that this is the budget for 2018.
Yeah, so if there's any changes when the board starts to discuss the capital plan, and if there's any priorities that the board wants to do, we can amend the budget. It's kind of what we're doing later on in the agenda, which is a supplemental amendment. So if it's mostly coming out of capital, we can amend anything we want, but if there's anything related to that.
I just thought I'd ask that question.
Yeah. Well, moving forward, certainly like what we've been dealing with on a lot of the analysis sources we're working with now, I'm feeling much better about going into the budget, what we've done here for the coming year. So,
You raring to go?
well, because I think we will have a really sharp pencil moving forward. And that'll be, I think, really reassuring to all of us. Well, may I have a motion to approve the 2018 budget based on all of our discussions for the last probably 2 months at least?
So moved.
And I'm second.
And a roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
President Douglas?
Yes. Okay, moving on to the cost of services final report.
So we've made just a few tweaks, and we're just here to accept it. You're not here to approve any recommendations or anything like that from this document. Staff will start to take a look at all the recommendations, and we've been doing some of these already, so just looking to accept it so we can put it on our website or have it available if anyone does ask.
So I could move to accept the new cost, is it printed out for me?
You can just-
Okay, sorry. I thought, because I move to accept the final report, make available to the public, and authorize the executive director and park district staff to begin pursuing strategies to divest, invest, collaborate, and/or partner, which includes contractual arrangements and agreements. Thank you.
Second.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why I included that last 4 words is, and I'll probably come back to the January meeting with a policy that allows me to look at contractual arrangements on anything instead of coming back to the board and saying, what do you think? Should we do a contractual arrangement? It just holds up the process for 5-6 months. So this it doesn't mean I have the authority to go sign a contract or to go do something. It just allows me to investigate and see what the pros and cons are and take a look at things. But I would always let committees know what I'm doing. But right now it's, can I go, for example, golf? Is it okay if we at least look at doing a proposal for a
It's too
contractual
logical.
agreement? So,
It's too logical.
so anyway, that's what this is getting
Okay.
at. So I'd like to create a policy in the future so that if all of a sudden an opportunity falls in our lap, that I start researching, I start looking into it, work with the committees, and it's a much more efficient process.
Yep.
So anyway, that's what that's here for.
Good, that's great.
Yeah.
Anything to streamline.
Yes, that's correct.
Right.
Things move fast these days, so, no, that's great.
So we just need a roll call.
Yeah, roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
President Douglas?
Yes. Okay, moving on, new business action items. The first one is Resolution 2017 C-18 Regular Board and Committee of Whole meeting dates.
So just really quickly, just a reminder, in January, we have the 8th committee of the whole meeting, and then the regular board meeting the 22nd, which is the 4th. So January and February are a little packed with some committee, I anticipate holding committee of the whole meetings, as we just have some projects, but other than that, pretty standard here.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve Resolution 2017-C-2018 regular board and committee of whole meeting dates?
So moved.
We can't change the time.
It was all agreed upon.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
President Douglas?
Yes. But certainly, with enough advance notice, we can adjust a meeting here or there with dates. and
If we
times.
hold a special meeting, we can call it. You are correct.
And that would be an example of amending something, if all of a sudden there was, not that I would have an epiphany, but if something changed, because I think I'm the primary person.
I think others agree.
Okay.
No, we're all good. I couldn't go a year without.
It's an annual.
Asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, this would have been your year because you could have blocked it this year. There's only 4 of us. You could have voted no and we would have been stuck.
She's been consistent 10 years.
Darn, you missed your chance.
So,
So it was you before I got on board.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, good, there's somebody else.
yeah, don't take it personal, yeah.
Ah, I feel much better.
I try every year,
Okay.
so it's okay.
But the point of all this is because these have to be published.
Yeah, they have to be published, required by law, and if we are going to change a time, it does require significant advance notice.
Right.
We haven't had that since I've been.
Okay. Well, moving on, ordinance 2017K supplemental appropriation ordinance.
Yeah, so I wanted to come to the board with this because we've just done some projects which the board has approved. So these are all approved, fourth courts, playgrounds. It just, we didn't budget at the time, or we didn't realize some things. So the costs, or we just maybe forgot to put it in the budget. So, and then we did some splitting up with the, in 017 with ADA and the playgrounds. So there's some changes there. And so what's required by law, our attorney has said, is you need a supplemental appropriation ordinance. If you're basically just taking it from reserves, you need to just be able to state the reasons why and have the board approve an ordinance. So this is not something that I'm asking for more. This is exactly what the board has approved. So I think what's important, why we wanted to do this, is the auditor will look back and say, what are the major changes that you had? So if we didn't have an ordinance or make this change, then there'd be questions about that. As well as we want to be able to show the public in 017 what our true budget was, instead of people questioning, well, you spent how much in capital reserves and spent more than budgeted, so we wanted to make it whole. So when we publish to the community, it will actually be these numbers included.
So it's a nice, really, check and balance. So we can be transparent about everything.
Yeah, exactly. And some of these, the paddle fourth court, we were unsure what we're doing, where we're gonna do it, so I anticipate in 018, everything's in there. I think it's where Commissioner Earhart was going. Can you amend the budget? Yes. In this upcoming budget, we feel everything's in there. So there shouldn't be any capital unless the board comes back and says, hey, we want to do something
Yeah,
different.
something that happens or occurs that causes us to scratch our head after
Yeah.
the fact, but
There's
Going in
nothing
right
that
now.
we've missed
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
we're behind or anything.
there's no gray area pending that you're aware of, staff or us.
Yeah, I feel really good.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We're going to have a motion to accept the supplemental appropriation ordinance 2017K, disclosing all necessary expenditures and liabilities in all districts' funds for the calendar year beginning January 1, 2017 and ending December 31, 2017.
So moved. Or you moved? Second.
I asked ask for the motion, so you.
So moved.
Second.
And that's okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes.
The dirty work for you.
You gotta get Susan in the box course, we'll have to have her second something. Do a, so moved.
Okay, moving on. We have another ordinance here, 2017 L Personnel Policy Manual, Section 2.3, anti-harassment.
Sorry, I
policy.
jumped on that.
That's okay.
Yeah, so this is just Governor Rauner passed this law that all public employers have to update their sexual harassment policies, as well as pass an ordinance to the regard that we will follow the personnel manual anti-harassment policy. And so the changes are in red throughout the policy. Primary changes are about employees being able to report to IDHR if they don't want to report to their employer, as well as very strong language about not retaliating against a person who does complain about sexual harassment. So obviously with recent public events, this is very much on the forefront, and so this was with attorney review.
So is this policy a mirror of what is this a mandated policy?
Yeah, it is. And
I mean, is this wording like the same as other park districts have?
yes.
Okay, so we've got a similar policy to other park districts. We are amending it to get the exact words that are in everybody
that
else's.
Governor Rauner wanted.
Got it, so we're not off on our own on this. This is,
Correct. No, this is from
Perfect.
our corporate counsel.
okay, all right, then I'm good.
And this is for-profit,
No, this was in particular
Specifically-
to public sector employers.
okay.
Okay, great.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification and that question. Any other questions here? May I have a motion to amend the personnel manual, section 2.3, anti-harassment policy, and approve ordinance 2017 L.
So moved.
Second.
There's an echo in here. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes. Moving on to the rec center jazzercise rental fees.
Cruising along.
Yes. So basically, cost of service analysis gave us an opportunity to evaluate what room costs are for the 9-hour typical schedule that Jazzercise utilizes our facility. So on average, we incur $39.88 worth of expense. So we have updated the 2018 rates to attempt to try to recuperate as much of those as possible. We currently get right around $30 an hour. They schedule somewhere between 5 and 9 rentals per week, so I would anticipate that continuing in the 2018 rate schedule. That breakdown would be at $35 an hour, and obviously we continue to evaluate this and continue to move the rate up in order to try to achieve full cost recovery, but we want to be a little conscious of price and rate increase, not to lose the renter right out of the gate this year.
Do you have a lot of participants in the past?
Yeah, I would say on average,
Consistent?
yeah, it's been fairly consistent. It's been, I would say, slower in the last couple of years than it was in like 2014, 2015. But they still will get somewhere between 6 and 10 people in each of their classes.
So we've got $9, and averaging 5 to 9 rentals from $24 in 2014 to $35. Pretty good.
Yeah, yes.
And the equipment rental has stayed.
$250, yeah, we don't really have a direct cost associated with it, it just helps us offset, we purchase some small program supplies.
And this has been discussed with,
It's not yet. I would take this to her
Okay.
once approved by the board.
okay.
And then, I mean, the cost recovery analysis we've done, I mean, this is now, we've got some really good objective material to work with. It is just an arbitrary number. So are we, since we approved that report, Can that report be used to?
Oh, absolutely. That's why we wanted to wait with them, is so that we can justify the.
When I spoke with the renter last year, I did mention that we were about to embark on this cost recovery model that would give us a price per room, and to anticipate that there may or may, that the report could result in a rate increase in an effort for us to recover what we believed were costs. That was part of our conversation we had last year when we had the rate increase. So I was kind of leading her to the potential that this wasn't a singular rate increase and that we hold this rate for several years, that there might be another rate increase coming.
This is why I love this cost recovery, because we have good objective data now to work with, and we're not just pulling numbers out of the air, so, okay, good. I just wanted to.
The one thing, and I'm sure you've thought of this, it still might be arbitrary to her.
Correct.
She might not care what our costs are, just like things I deal with at work.
Yeah.
Some people, I don't care what you own this for.
So I'll make it part of the conversation.
Yeah,
just
but it
explain
should
the
help,
process.
obviously,
Mhm.
if the practicality and the objectivity.
Okay, well, any other questions here? Could I have a motion to approve the Jazzercise as a rental with the following fee structure? Rental rate of $30 per hour with a schedule of 10 rentals per week. If fewer rentals are requested per week, the fee would increase as follows: 5 to 9 rentals per week, $35 an hour; 2 to 4 rentals per week, $40 an hour; and a $250 annual equipment rental fee during the terms of the agreement. The agreement will begin January 1st, 2018 and expire December 31st, 2018, and the fee increase will begin February 5th, 2018.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart,
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon,
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace,
Yes.
President Douglas.
Yes.
Is he, in the future, this needs to be read completely, or can we ever say as specified in?
You probably could say as specified in the memo, but it is nice, especially if you're on camera or
Oh,
all
right,
that,
right.
so they know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
voting on. So
Right.
I'd probably say, the attorney would probably say, you probably
Yeah,
want to be
okay.
more
Yeah.
specific.
But a legitimate question, but
Yeah.
memorializing,
Yeah.
bring clarity like that, so.
Yeah. Since you read a lot of it, I was just trying to help you out.
Yeah, it's okay, I don't mind. Well, we're moving on to written communications.
I do have quite a few things, actually. I recently received something from Don Pearson, Grace United Methodist Church. They're the ones who sell the trees out at Artesian Park. Very nice letter. He said, "We sold out in record time, confirming that residents look forward to this worthwhile community event. They raised money for PADS, Lake County United, Child Survey, Waukegan College. We appreciate the efficiency and cooperation of your staff as always." So it's very nice. So a little bit different letter this time around. So kudos to staff. Under correspondence, we have our GFOA certificate. I didn't announce that to the board, so we've had it 3 years in the running. I think that is important for the community. It's heavy, I'll pass it around, but I think that's a good thing. It doesn't talk about it talks more about our processes than anything else. And so we're very excited for this. It is important as we look at bond ratings, things like that. So anyway, I thought I would be careful. So that's one.
Nice job.
One good thing.
Great.
So kudos to Rich and the rest of the team. And then NSSRA, I put something in front of you, is they're doing their annual campaign. So if you could take a look at that. And then resident Janice Schnobrecht, I put some letters in. I usually receive these letters. She requested that I share with the board. So I just want to make sure I get on camera that you do have it in your packets and you do review.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay, any other written communications? We can move on to verbal communications now.
Well, I'll go first
Oh,
before
okay.
I'll pass it on. Sorry, I have a
No,
couple
it's okay.
things. I think the first bullet point is important. The NSSRA and Northbrook Park District are exploring a partnership towards accomplishing NSSRA's long-term goal to provide a new home. We do contribute to what's called, we have the MAC, so we have our membership into NSSRA, then we have inclusion that happens, and then we've been contributing all agencies to a capital. So what is going to happen, what is important with this is all agencies will have to, if we decide to sell the building, and it was Northbrook, NSSRA's building, all agencies, all partners need to sign off on it. And so I'll be working with the finance committee on this. Just be important because we don't know maybe the future cost to all of us, but obviously we do levy for the Special Recreation Fund for these types of things. So it's a potential great partnership with the Northbrook Partnership, Northbrook Park District. So it's something to just keep in the back of your mind. It's going to be a little complicated. We might have Craig Colt, the executive director, maybe a foundation member from NSSRA, and then myself as the chair coming to the board. It's going to get very complicated.
Remind me, how many park districts are part of this association?
13.
13?
Oh, it's so complicated.
I think the complicated part is so it's going to be selling the building, I missed the point, as well as an agreement with the Northbrook Park District. That's how we split, so that has to get approved by all partner agencies as well. So that means there's going to be cost sharing, and so our NSSRA's attorneys are working through it, but different boards are going to
their
have
own entity, like the Park District or Northbrook?
Yeah, they'll probably, well, that's what the details are being worked on. Is it leased space? Is it outright purchase? Those are the things that.
Does the space exist though within the Northbrook Park District?
Well, so it's actually brand new land. So it's at Techney
Okay.
where the 9-hole golf course is. So it'd be on some of that land. So Northbrook Park District would be building a recreation center. So they've already agreed. And then NSSRA would have a building that's attached to it.
Okay, a new facility.
And as well as space, the ability to use gymnasium space. So it's just going to get a little technical. And sometimes there's attorneys on the different partner agency boards and what's this language, who's liable. So I'm just preparing you. I might be attending all agency board meetings. And the details are not.
So it's really not known yet how this is.
It's not known, but we're working through it. So it's a great opportunity because right now NSSRA is in more of a business park.
It's an
actually
industrial park.
Industrial park, and it's really difficult for people with disabilities to get in there. There are buses. And this would be a win-win for people with disabilities.
Well, it'll give the organization an identity.
Absolutely.
And that's what's lacking with its current location.
They've retained a firm the foundation has retained a firm to help them with fundraising with their goal. I mean, it's going to be a significant goal, but they do have people lined up, and I think they're going to do an amazing job, actually.
So the scenarios are maybe some long 99-year lease kind of thing, or maybe it's some sort of combination thereof.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. So that's that. I'll be around all the next couple weeks. So if for some reason I'm taking off or you can just call my cell phone. I'm not heading down anywhere. A couple of us, Sarah, Jim, Tim, and Micah, and I participated with Lake County. We coordinated this event at Feed My Starving Children. It was great. It's a great opportunity to meet other professionals as well. So we were teamed up with NSSRA. And it was a really good thing. So, and then get prepared for January as we're working on the community-wide presentation. So Jeff will be here around 7 o'clock, trying to get Sickich at 6:30, and trying to work with the finance committee so they can get the report ahead of time on the capital plan. So that's my report.
Did you post the photos of On the website?
Not yet, so not on the website. But it's,
When they went to keep my daughter.
yeah, it's, everyone was sweating. It was,
We've got, our family's done it before. It's pretty
it was
cool.
neat. And a lot of people, probably half the professionals haven't done it before, so it was good camaraderie between our Lake County group.
All right.
The only thing I really wanted to talk about was we're pleased to announce that Recreation Services Manager will start next week. So you'll see her name around, Rosie Alacarta. We're really excited to have her on board. Most of her experience comes from Deerfield Park District, as well as being a soccer coach through a private entity.
No real report here. I'll give you a little update on the ice rink though, we had some pretty good ice that you could walk on a few days ago, but the recent warm weather has kind of melted the surface, so hopefully, and the weather is looking pretty warm for the rest of this week, so maybe after Christmas, we'll be able to get some ice.
What's the average number of days again? Rob, you know,
It
if there's
varies
such a thing-
between 9 days and 60 days of
Yeah,
ice skating.
I should know the answer to something like that.
So in warm years like we're having right now, it could be very few days.
I think cost recovery was, about $20,000.
Yeah.
So the only thing I had was Padurma accreditation. We we finally came to a complete final score for our accreditation, which began in the spring, goes through the summer, and then through the fall. In November 15th, we have any final things that we can submit or fix before they do their composite score of all the different areas. So you can see in the board report that we had some areas that had some significant improvement, some areas that just had some slight decline, and that could be from various different, from the older equipment to different staff. But overall, our total score improved almost 2 whole points. So the next time we'll go through this accreditation won't be for another 3 to 4 years. They're uncertain, they're changing the accreditation process. They want to make it a little bit tougher, but so that everyone understands the whole process. It's already extremely hard through staff to work on it, but I will say that staff did an outstanding job preparing for the accreditation in the various different areas.
Great. Good job.
The only thing I just want to point out is feedback from staff with regards to the fitness strategy plan has been exceptional. Staff is very excited about the direction that we're going. We've kind of launched that and had conversations with staff. We've had a little bit of like a soft launch on the new rate structure for next year, and we've gotten a lot of really positive feedback on that. So just my one reminder is in January, I think it is, I want to give you the exact date, January 13th, we have our annual open house, and I would just encourage you to attend, but also send your fellow residents our way if they make any mention of any New Year's resolutions where fitness might be involved. We'd love to be a part of that. So
That's a Saturday, right?
it's a Saturday. But
One more update on the ice rink. Jim just reminded me that
it's still melted.
this year we're not going to have any ice rink monitors there. What we've done is put surveillance cameras in the warming hut and also timers on the door locks, and we put timers on the lights. So we should be able to automate it and maybe have a maintenance person swing by at the end of the night just to make sure that it's all locked up, but it should be all automated now.
Probably for the next 5 years, it'll save us about $20,000.
Has this been communicated to?
We're getting signage made right now that will be out by the end of the week. And there's also going to be a maintenance hotline, 1-800 number that you can call if there's any maintenance issues.
We'll also include it in a Park District e-newsletter.
What do you do when you have when it's water? I mean, do the doors shut sooner and the lights aren't turned on?
We'll have to turn off the timers for that night, so that,
So every night has to be manually changed?
yeah, usually once the ice, when we hit a cold stretch in the weather, we'll turn the timers on so that it's automated. And
Maintenance does daily inspections, so they'll inspect the ice to make sure that it's safe at all times. And we have a formula that we utilize, that Padrona has a fact sheet that they produce for us. So it's about 4 to 5 inches thickness, but Rob's staff goes out there and they check it, and then we have a conversation whether, you know, it's safe to be on there or not. I will say in the past, we've had times where we had no ice rink monitors, and we utilized maintenance staff to, you know, just check in. So this is not uncommon. I mean, sometimes ice rink monitors, they're teenagers, and, you know, they tend
So right now, the timers are off.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go each day.
Okay,
Yeah.
because you know they come skating.
Yeah, so we know.
And the door's locked.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the
Yeah,
door.
and one door will not be on a timer, just in case if people get locked in, they'll have a panic bar and be able to get out.
Well, we're using some of the signage, this, you guys have been doing this a long time. You know, maybe use some verbiage like for your convenience and safety or something like that to explain that we have cameras, we have automated lights and locks. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense or that's a slam dunk, I don't know, but would that make for your convenience and safety so it's a positive thing that's being communicated?
yeah, we can.
And also to inform them that there are cameras in there now, so
Yeah.
don't mess around.
We can definitely do that.
That's a good idea. We didn't have that plan, but it's a good idea. We'll do that.
And we'll have a camera outside the building that'll actually, supervise so that way we can have surveillance on the ice rink. And we have several staff that can check in on them. And maintenance been instructed anyway, and even my staff to come out every couple hours just, because the ice rink hours are during our operation. So, should be easy for us to.
It's a good point. I'll do that time. I like that.
Okay. Any other staff reports?
No.
We can move to our committees. Any committee reports? I know you've all been working hard with the whole budget package, but.
Yeah, I'll be reaching out to Brock and Bob and Charlie as, I just received, Rob Foster and I just received the latest capital plan report, and I had one more revision. And so it's like really close to being at least what we think is done. So as soon as they get me back the last revision, they'll get a copy. So that'll be our hot topic, will be the capital plan.
Okay.
And we anticipate again that we'll have materials and then, first or second week of January, did you say?
Yeah, January, so we're gonna try to sort through this. I have to
Okay.
work
Okay.
probably around town here.
Okay.
Okay, well, any reports from anyone?
No. Parks and Beach. Nothing like that.
No, I was going to workshop that.
Okay. We mainly covered 2 items at the last meeting. There, as some of you may recall, there was $55,000 that was part of the 2015 bond referendum that was specifically designated as a line item for improvements to the Knollwood parks, listed as paths and playground improvements. And out at the far westerly part, the Knollwood Park, there aren't any really playground elements for very, very young children. So we're looking at having 2 pieces added to one of the 2 playground areas out there, the southerly playground, and also an expansion of that area. And then if any of you ever walked that path all along the west edge of that park, it is really in miserable condition. Parts of it are very low, and the bulk of the $55,000 is actually going to go to improving the drainage and resurfacing a part, or if not all, of the path. The intention is to set up the bid so that if we can't afford it, we'll just do the worst areas. There's also going to be about $4,000 spent replacing the shelter at the sanctuary playground area. That shelter roof, unfortunately, is falling apart and starting to cause rotting of the timber members under the roof material. And the second item that we talked about, we had a follow-up discussion on our previous meeting where we had a consultant come in, Beard, to talk about beach erosion. And the committee at this point is, at least from our perspective, not knowing all the capital needs, we're feeling that we'd like to push ahead with a preliminary engineering study to come up with the recommendations for what it will take to stop the, or at least to mitigate the erosion and the sand loss that is right now occurring at an ever-increasing rate because of the high lake levels. It's really very, very worrisome if the lake levels continue to go up. The beach is only going to suffer more considerably. And we can't, any type of project obviously is going to have to be a bond approved through a referendum because these numbers to do these types of improvements at the beach are very, very expensive. But until we take the first step to understand what we need, we're never going to get to that point. So as we start talking about capital in the coming year and reviewing the big report, I think you'll be hearing from the other members and I that from our committee that we very much feel that we should be moving ahead with this preliminary engineering study on the erosion aspects of the beach.
So that was one of the tweaks, part of the capital plan, we put in the engineering study, so that's why we've been going back and forth. It was perfect timing, as well as this whole fitness strategy. We met with some design architect fees just on potential facility improvements, so that was another thing I sent back. But in particular to the beach, I was able to at least put it in the plan so we're not constantly coming back and forth and adding things. And
You put the study in there?
just the study.
So there's no placeholder for any potential?
There is, but it's under the less category, which wasn't part of the original
Okay,
improvements,
okay.
but part of the plan.
Just a quick question, because I think this is a valuable thing to at least get a proposal, find out what it's going to take to get a conceptual understanding of what it's going to require to do the stabilization. But on a side note, the village is the lead with the water reclamation people. Have we heard anything more about?
Well, the village is waiting for us to do to go through the whole institutional zoning and plan, so board agreed not to fund Hitchcock to do the design of it. In order to get the institutional zoning, I need some architect design as part of the application process.
But we still have the water reclamation people who are out.
It's just on hold, yeah.
Okay,
It's on hold.
because once they are ready to move forward, our water reclamation people that is, we want to be in front of that. So, okay.
How many years has it been?
Well, that's the thing, I remember,
It's been a long time.
actually, before I even came on this board, which was, gosh, I don't know, 8, 9 years ago, yeah, it was on the forefront. They were trying to really railroad it through, and then they kind of backed off and disappeared. So, so I'm just trying to get
I
a
think
sense
we're-
of where they are these days.
We're not really concentrating on the NSSD. We need to do what we need to do, and then if they need our information, we can give it to them, but we're not waiting for them.
No, I'm just worried that they might just show up again and we're
I think they're just waiting for us.
Okay.
I did want to add to the committee, so when the finance committee looks at the capital reserves, so I'm almost, and finished that, I have some tweaks to it. You should be able to get that, you'll get it by Friday. Is that if you recall, it was in 2014 where we settled with the school district on the parking lot and the land, and there was $60,000. So that $60,000 that the board approved at that time was to be allocated for the Knollwood Park system. So they have the $55,000 plus the $60,000. you'll see this in this reserves in this document, but it's just important that when you see the reserves, there are dollars as part of that.
Specifically
For that, as well as our roof and a couple other things. So if, let's say it's 1.1 million, it might be 900,000 because there's some restrictions, I guess is a better word. But, I don't know.
Earmark, the board.
Earmark.
Specifically asked.
That is correct. Earmarked is a better word, restricted, earmarked, yes. So I just want to make you aware of that. That was one thing I brought to their attention. I had to go back to notes. I almost forgot that the board made those decisions. So we're starting to go back to history and try to remember all that.
Okay, good. Okay. Any other committees?
Friends of Lake Bluff Parks, I just wanted to let you know that Jennifer Beeler, she'll be stepping down from the president spot. We don't really have anybody to move up. No one really wants to move up right now. One individual's moving, the other, they want to somewhat stay where they're at. We're going to be looking for some new trustees. It's going to be a critical group, I think, down the road. So if you know individuals, please let us know. We're going to have someone run the meetings, and that might just be me, just until we can get through the year. But Jennifer's done an amazing job. She's been vice president, president for almost 4 years now. So we look at our board committees. We also need this foundation to keep going too. So so if you see Jennifer, please thank her. She's staying on the board though.
Yeah,
she's staying on the board, but just needs to take a step back.
Who can Jim be president?
He's a liaison, so it'd have to be staff or park district. Rob could do double duty.
Oh, yeah.
Jim? That's it.
Not Jim couldn't because he's a
Oh, 'cause
staff liaison.
All right.
You almost got volunteered.
I know.
Hey, I'm more than welcome to pass that on to him because I might have to do it, but.
Okay.
So
Well-
everybody keep their eyes and ears open for people who you think may be a good addition to that foundation. 'Cause they do good things and raise monies for us.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. The only thing I have is something that came in from the Illinois Association of Park Districts. And Susan, you get to have a little something to put on your wall. Because they do a 10-year anniversary award for your volunteer work. And so
I can be on the way.
really be presented to you, and congratulations, and thank you for your time and efforts for the last 10 years. You are our senior on this board, so.
I'm the old lady.
We'll want to take a picture of you because we are going to want to
Oh,
do a
no,
picture.
that's not.
Yes,
No, I don't have.
it's important.
I'm tired. Okay.
Picture too?
Well, it's been 10 years, so you probably are tired. It's been long. It's odd.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you,
Well-
thank you.
Okay, I guess that finishes our verbal communications. So, executive session.
Yeah, we only need to do executive session letter A, so if someone wants to read that, it's only letter A.
I move to go to executive session, letter A, discussion of the meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act, whether for purposes of approval by the district of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes, as mandated by section 2.06 per 5 ILCS 120/2C21.
Only a 10-year veteran could have done that.
Exactly, as smoothly as that was done.
So, I'm sorry, we need a second.
I second.
And roll call, please.
Commissioner Earhart?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
President Douglas?
Yes.
Stop.
So, okay, coming out of executive session, just to clarify, I need to read what I have here or not?
You're approving the resolution, so you need a motion for the resolution.
I move to approve Resolution 2017-D, release of closed session minutes.
Second that.
A roll call, please?
Commissioner Earhart?
Yes.
Commissioner Gordon?
Yes.
Commissioner Wallace?
Yes.
President Douglas?
Yes. And then finally, may I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who seconded?
Who second that?
Second.
It's fine.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing none, we're all